So what if I told you there's this invisible blanket wrapped around our entire planet, and it's the only thing keeping us from freezing solid? Today, we're going to pull back the layers on one of the most misunderstood and honestly, one of the most important systems for life on Earth, the greenhouse effect. So let's dive in.
I mean, really, what is our secret sauce? Why aren't we a scorched rock like Venus or, a cosmic ice cube like Mars? Well, the answer is all in our atmosphere. It's this incredibly delicate balancing act that works just like a planetary thermostat. And yeah, you guessed it, it's called the greenhouse effect.
All right, so let's start right there, in that sweet spot. What is it exactly that keeps our planet so perfectly balanced for life to exist?
Now, look, being in the right solar neighborhood definitely helps, but that's not the whole story. Not by a long shot. The real hero here is our atmosphere, and specifically the greenhouse effect. Seriously, without it, the Earth's average temperature would just plummet to a bone-chilling minus 18 degrees Celsius. That's 0 Fahrenheit. Our planet would just be a frozen, completely desolate world.
Okay, to really get a handle on this, I want you to picture our entire planet sitting inside a massive, totally invisible greenhouse. And that analogy? Well, that's going to be our key to understanding this whole thing.
And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. The greenhouse effect by itself is not a man-made problem. It's a completely natural, absolutely essential process. It's just our atmosphere's clever way of holding on to a perfect little slice of the sun's energy, to keep the whole planet from just plunging into a deep freeze.
And you know what? This analogy is surprisingly accurate. Think about a regular greenhouse for plants, right? Glass lets the sunlight stream in and then traps the heat inside so the plants stay warm. Well, our atmosphere does the exact same thing, just on a global scale. It lets that solar energy pass right through, but then it captures some of the heat that tries to radiate back out from the surface. And boom! That's what creates our warm, habitable planet.
Okay, so we've got the what and we've got the why. Now let's get into the how. What's the actual science behind this planetary warming machine?
It's really like a beautifully simple four-step dance. Okay, step 1, energy from the sun arrives. Step 2, the Earth's surface, the land, the water, soaks it all up and gets warmer. Step 3, the planet then tries to cool off by sending that heat back out towards space, mostly as invisible infrared radiation. And then, step 4, this is the magic moment. Certain gases up in our atmosphere catch some of that escaping heat and bounce it right back down, keeping us all nice and toasty.
So, right, these gases, they're basically the glass panels of our planet-sized greenhouse. Or, another way to think about it is like a thermal blanket, one that's perfectly designed to trap just the right amount of heat to keep everything alive down here.
So who are these heat-trapping heavy hitters? Well, the biggest one, believe it or not, is actually water vapor. But you've also got carbon dioxide and methane, and while there's less of them, they're incredibly powerful at trapping heat. And here's the crazy part. Together, all these gases make up less than 1% of our atmosphere, but they have this absolutely colossal impact on our climate.
And this is where it gets really important. We're not just talking about being comfortable here. This atmospheric blanket, it's the very reason we can all survive on this planet, period.
This is such a crucial point to understand. The greenhouse effect itself, it's not the bad guy in this story. Not at all. It's the hero. It's the fundamental process that makes our planet this amazing haven for life.
And honestly, the stakes could not be higher. With this atmospheric blanket, we get the world we know, a vibrant, living planet. But without it, Earth becomes that desolate ice ball we mentioned, totally hostile to life. The difference is as stark as, say, a thriving rainforest compared to a barren, lifeless desert.
Okay, so if the greenhouse effect is so essential, why does it get such a bad rap, right? This is where we have to talk about balance and what happens when you can have too much of a good thing.
This right here is probably the single biggest misunderstanding out there. People hear greenhouse effect and they immediately think of pollution and climate change. But they are not the same thing. The greenhouse effect is natural. It's necessary. The problem only starts when human activity begins to, well, supercharge the whole system. So let's break this down. On one side, you have the natural greenhouse effect. That's the perfect life-sustaining balance we've been talking about. But on the other side, you have the enhanced effect. And this is what happens when we start pumping extra greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. It's like we're making that planetary blanket thicker and thicker, and it starts trapping too much heat. That's when our climate begins to change.
All right, so let's do a quick recap of the science here. Number 1, the greenhouse effect is a totally natural warming process. Number 2, certain gases in the atmosphere act like a blanket trapping heat. And number 3, and most importantly,
It's what makes all life on Earth even possible. Simple as that. Without it, none of us would be here.
And that really brings us to the most important question of all, doesn't it? We know this natural blanket is absolutely essential for our survival. So, what happens when we, through our own actions, start making that blanket thicker and thicker and thicker? Well, that's the big challenge we're facing today.